are live. Welcome to the Avatar Slang Podcast, your go-to destination for deep dives into the realms of fiction, all things nerdy. We are joined by my man Derron. We're here to talk about Castlevania and Invincible today. Two, I, would you say top tier animated shows?
For sure. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, and they're adult animation. I would say no for sure. Like kids can't really watch that unless your
Yeah, I
parents.
wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't let my child watch that.
How old is your kid now?
5.
5? Oh shoot.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, duh, that makes sense now. And you said she's in karate and all that?
Yeah.
Okay. So, before we get into that, how's everything going?
Everything is good. I can't complain. Just taking care of my family
I feel that.
and working. Can't do too much other than that. So yeah, I can't complain. Life is good.
Not that we want to cover everything today, but what you've been watching lately.
Uh, Really, I'm watching The Boys. I still didn't watch the last episode, so I gotta watch that. Um,
Okay, that's a good one.
yeah. I rewatched Castlevania.
The GOAT.
And yeah, what else? And other than that, just been watching just basketball, like rewatching old basketball games.
Oh, I didn't realize you did that.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Every now and then.
okay, so be- I want to get to some basketball talk. So I'm gonna give the audience some background. I know Duran from high school. We both went to Abington. We used to have we used to have debates about everything basketball wise back then.
Yeah,
But then we realized that we agree on a lot of things. We just used to nitpick at the things we didn't agree on. Like, I guess we didn't agree on superstars in the moment.
right.
So, do you still hate LeBron James?
No, I can't say I ever hated them.
Okay.
I just, I just maybe didn't. I just like people. They were. I felt like at the time just putting them on a pedestal.
Before he earned it.
Yeah, before he earned it. But then, like, let's say, I say after 2011,
Hmm.
I think my fandom for LeBron James grew. Like
Oh,
I
that's
felt like, of course, I'm a Dallas Mavericks fan, and then after we beat them, like I felt after he did that interview where he was like, at the end of the day, I'm still LeBron James. Y'all get
that was
back to your
corny.
regular. That was corny, but like I felt bad because I felt like he had to go to that level. Like,
Okay, I
yeah,
see
like
that.
I just felt bad for him, and I was like, damn. But
I
then
didn't know
like
you
after
felt
that,
bad.
I felt bad for him because I feel like he shouldn't have said that, but then like he shouldn't have had to say that, and he does get even like back then he was getting unnecessary criticism, but yeah, like
I
after
agree with that.
that I felt bad, but then like I watched him more after that too, just because he was on a different level, like the 2011-12 season where he played the Mavs on Christmas, like he just dismantled them, like, and so it was just like, all right, I see that he really trying to not only get the ring, but just make his own, like, his own legacy. Like nobody can talk about Jordan this, Jordan that, and all that. But like I really appreciate him now,
Hmm.
and I felt like it started after 2011. So
That's fair. Okay.
yeah.
So, speaking of goats, I mean, I'm more of a Jordan guy, but that's the
Mhm.
transition I'm gonna go with.
Yeah.
Um, let's talk some Castlevania.
Oh,
So, just tell the audience how you feel about Castlevania, because I already did that. I just want someone else to talk about it for a little bit.
uh, Castlevania for me, like I said, it's the best anime in the past decade. I don't think anybody's going to be able to show me any anime like it because it's great in so many things. Like for like the fighting animation is great.
Hmm.
It's barely any filler. With anime you get a ton of filler. Like,
Yes.
and like if you could probably pick out an episode that's filler, but the story is so good
Hmm.
that it doesn't like really matter. And like the characters are so complex.
Hmm.
Just like for example, Saint Germain.
Hmm.
He comes off when you first meet him, he's just like a thief, or he's just like an alchemist, a magician, and you think he's just like some silly dude, but then you figure out he lost somebody he loves, so now he's trying to get back to her, and he goes insane doing it.
Hmm.
And it's crazy. And for example, another complex characters are what Striga and Marina. They're
Which
only
was
in it for
Marina
like
again?
once. Uh, she's part of Carmella's like for
Oh, the
those
yeah.
four, but Striga is like the huge one, like the warrior, and
Hmm.
Marina comes off I get like the more feminine, but they're lovers and like when they talk, it's like they don't want to do this no more, but it's like all they know, and it's like it's crazy because they don't like they'll talk about it like anything Carmella does is a scheme, it's not like a plan, and like
Yeah,
they're like yo, I don't want to do this, and Marina says like, cool, like Strigo say, well, this is all I know. Well, she's like, do you want to do this for centuries? And it's just like
I
you
see what you're
gonna
saying.
yeah
So basically, the actually really sharp dialogue, deep dialogue,
yeah
and a lot of anime don't got that. Like, could would I be tripping if I said it's kind of like a the dialogue and the conversations is on par with like a HBO series?
yeah. I feel like when I'm hearing them talk and the conversations they're having, I feel like I'm watching a movie more than I'm
Yeah,
watching like anime. Like it's
yeah.
so, but yeah, that's one of my favorite things about it. And I just think like a lot of their characters, like you can do a whole series on just those characters. Like they could make a whole Castlevania series about Isaac.
They could.
Like and
Who
like
who's the
okay,
guy? The white hair. He looks
Hector
like who's
with the white hair,
yeah.
and he does like the same thing as Hector, right? He's a forge master.
I think it is. Wait, I think I am talking about Hector.
Yeah, it's Hector. Yeah,
Okay, okay, yeah. I think they could do a spinoff with him, and it would be pretty good.
yeah. Like those characters are so complex, and I feel like with other animes, like certain characters do stick out, but I don't think you could do a whole series on them or and like their backstories or whatever they're going to do next.
Yeah,
Especially like the way it'll like it ended in season 4 where Isaac like he became a completely different person than
for
what he was.
sure.
Like he hated humans, and then at the end, he didn't love them at the end, but he was just like, I want to know what life is like
Hmm.
without the hate in my heart. So it's different. Like I don't think other animes have that.
No, for sure. It's definitely my favorite anime I've watched in the past 10ish years, but it's even in like probably my top five Netflix.
Yeah, definitely for me. Definitely, I say it's probably my number one because I just go back and watch it
Yeah, I
and
mean, if you're rewatching that much, it probably just is your number one because I've rewatched season one and half of season two recently, and I was glued in. It didn't feel like a chore.
yeah, like and then they just have I like just their characters. Like for instance, like what's her name, Cipher.
The
She's low
yeah,
the yeah she's low key the Avatar.
yeah. I shared a clip of it recently. And I'm like, that's probably why I like her because she reminds me of the Avatar.
Yeah,
And I'm
like
really into Avatar.
she's low key an Avatar. Like and it's
Hmm.
crazy. So
It's crazy because I remember the way they introduced her. It was like, oh, she do a little something. But when they were
right,
fighting, what's Dracula's son name again? Alucard.
yeah,
I was like, oh no, she actually knows how to fight. Like,
yeah. Because when she introduced, like she was stuck in stone by the Cyclops, and you're like, oh, she's just gonna be like in the way.
yeah,
But then like even like towards the end of that season, like her powers were crazy.
yeah.
She was flying,
Hmm.
the ice, the lightning, all that. So
Yeah, they I think they did pretty good with the power scaling too. A lot of these shows, when they beat things, like when someone fights somebody or when someone wins, you're like, that doesn't make sense. But that's just the writers.
right,
Even if someone beats someone you didn't imagine them beating, it's very believable the way they do it.
yeah, because it wasn't like they was just manhandling people. They struggled a lot,
Yes.
but and then also that part of it, like Alucard, Cipher,
Mhm.
and Trevor, like when you watch them throughout the season, like they build chemistry when
Yes.
they're fighting, and I like that a lot. Like you don't see that often. I mean, like in some animes, like they have teams and stuff, but like they had like real chemistry.
Yeah,
So like
yeah, the way they read each other's moves, they knew when to do certain things,
right.
and they did a good job illustrating the different fighting styles too. Like, you could tell, like, you could just see the disciplines, even though we don't know the ins and outs of it. Like, you can tell, damn, what's her name? The magician girl,
Cypher.
Cypher. Yeah, she has her own different style, but it looks like its own martial art within itself.
Right. But my thing,
So
like, yeah, and then because like Alucard is low key, like he's like the powerhouse, like he has superhuman strength.
yeah,
Yeah, and you wouldn't. I mean, you would expect it because he's like half vampire, but you would think if you didn't watch Castlevania, like Trevor would be that person, but he's not really a person with superhuman strength. Like, so
right. And he gets really strong in the different way. Like who did he fight the Grim Reaper at the end?
Trevor did.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's like he's not super strong, but he gets stronger. It's like the
So
way they portray that is just really good.
right, and that's one of your crazier things to me because the whole season four, like, it's like a 6 week span where it's just Trevor and Cypher, and for 6 weeks they're just nonstop fighting,
Mhm.
and like, and then at the end he's fighting the Grim Reaper, and I was like, I'd probably say that might have been one of the more one sided fights because like the Grim Reaper got a couple hits, but like Trevor was going crazy on him, and he had
He
like one
snapped
arm,
on him.
like
Like he just gained some resolve and was like, "All right, we're
right,
doing this." Just start smoking them.
right.
Now I gotta
But
rewatch that fight after this podcast because I
that's
forgot it was one sided.
that's my favorite episode because
And no, go ahead, my bad.
oh yeah, that's just one of my favorite episodes because they fought like a whole army, and that's one of the episodes where you see their chemistry.
Yeah,
Like
for
so,
sure. It's crazy that you said is your favorite. The last episode is your favorite episode because you don't get that a lot on TV. Like
yeah,
TV shows struggle with endings.
yeah, they like everything came together as far as like because in the beginning of season four, like Alucard was like struggling, and he was like
Hmm.
he was becoming Trevor Belmont, which was funny, but like everything came together, and like we seen what happened to Lenore.
Hmm.
And she didn't want to, if she couldn't be with, basically her family, she was like, I'd rather just see what the sun looks like and die. But then that's what I'm saying. Like the way that ended, Hector could have his own series, Isaac could have his own series. And then, like with Stringer and Morena, they, after they realized that Carmela died, they just like, we march west and you never see them again. But that could be a whole series. Like,
It really could be that fight when it was Isaac who killed
kill
Carmela, right?
Carmela. Yeah, that's one of the best. I think that's one of my favorite anime fights ever. Just,
Ever.
just because. Also, Isaac is when you remember, like Isaac is just human,
Yeah.
and like he had such a connection with like the night beast that he created. But that fight is crazy, and you realize how strong Carmela is.
Because she's supposed to be like, if there's tears, she's almost in Dracula's tier, right?
Right? Yeah.
Okay. This is not fully related, but did you watch the new Castlevania, the sequel
Yeah.
series? How
Yeah.
you feel about that one?
I like it a lot. I actually just started re-watching that one. I
Hmm.
like. I just with Castlevania the characters. I really like the characters. Like
Hmm.
and the way the first episode of the second series started off is crazy because you meet Richter
Hmm.
when he's a child, and then you meet Orlox and you meet Richter's mom. I
Hmm.
can't remember her name,
I don't know her
but
name right now either. I'll pull it up.
yeah, you just see Orlox like they have a crazy fight, and she was winning, and then Richter gets in the way, and she ends up dying. But the way
Julia,
they
by the way.
introduce, okay, Julie, yeah, the way they introduce him is great,
Hmm.
and I like Castlevania has great villains, like so, and Orlox became like one of my favorite villains.
That's the one who killed Julia.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, because I like how they set that up because I thought it was going to be like he was going to be the big bad,
right.
but they didn't do it like they did it. It's more like it's season 4, right? When did they kill Dracula in the original one? Was that season end of season 2?
Yeah, I think it was the end of season 2, and then season 3 was just all like Isaac, what he's doing,
Mm-hmm.
and Carmela,
Okay.
and then like because like in the middle of season 4, that's when they die. Carmela
Okay.
dies. So yeah,
Okay. So I feel like the sequel series, what's it called? Nocturne?
yeah,
Yeah, Castlevania Nocturne is it took the route of season 3 and 4 having more than one strong vampire to fight.
yeah, and it's like they don't all have the same agenda. Like Carmela and Dracula didn't have the same agenda, but it
No.
just seems like everybody, like all the like major villains in the series, don't have the same agenda, and I don't know where it's going to lead. Like
I agree
where
with that. It's like I like that though. It's kind of like in world politics. Like what shows other shows did that well? I feel like Game of Thrones did that well. Avatar kind of did that, but not fully.
mm,
So I like that they have that because when we usually see vampires, it's usually I'm not gonna say usually because there's a lot of vampire stuff I didn't watch. I don't care for what's that teenage hit with the wolves and all that?
is it?
Um
Oh,
with the
Twilight.
girl. Twilight, yes. I
Yeah,
don't I ain't getting into all that. I ain't getting like Blade's cool, but you ain't really see no inner politics. Like vampires are just
right.
kind of
Yeah,
evil in that. So I
yeah,
like the portrayal of vampires in this.
yeah. It's like you said, like same with me. I haven't seen like a bunch of vampire stuff, but it's like you see a more, I guess you would say, more human side of them,
Hmm.
and like what they think and how they think. Like they think of humans as just food.
That's yeah, especially in this new season. Like
Yeah, yeah, but like in like the first series, some of them thought of them as just food, but it's like, can we kill them in a more humane way and stuff like that? And
yeah.
you don't really see that. But like you said, I haven't watched a ton of vampire stuff, so maybe other shows do talk like
I
that. So
think there's more politics in this one show my sister used to watch called Vampire Diaries, but I don't get into CW.
yeah, yeah, I've never seen it. I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
Yeah, I don't think I'm missing nothing, but what do I know? But yeah, I mean Castlevania, like what shows come close to it? Like action, cartoon, anime shows. Like
Um, well, for me, I mean, I don't think I would put them in the same tier, but The Boys for me is,
okay.
uh, I love that show.
The boys is I like Castlevania more,
Yeah, I like
but
Castlevania more, but like The
I would
Boys,
entertain if someone put the boys with it.
yeah,
I would entertain the
like
conversation.
The Boys is just is comedy, and they just go over the top.
Hmm.
Like you're gonna see something over the top when you watch The Boys
Yeah, I see
and
the
stuff.
thing with the boys is I feel like the boys do it. Sometimes they do it for the shock value.
Yeah,
Like
I would say so. Yeah,
whereas Castlevania is just the part of the world they're in, and it's not forced. It's just this is how some vampires get down. This is how some humans
right.
get down. Like I like that. Oh, but you know what? My bad. I'm jumping all around, but I want to get back to your point about how they all have different agendas. I also liked how
I think you froze. I can't hear you. I think I
oh,
can hear you now.
okay. No,
Yeah.
I was saying Dracula, although he hated humans by the time we're watching the series,
Mm.
I like correct me if I'm wrong, they implied that he was kind of keeping the council at bay, like they weren't just slaughtering humans and doing whatever they wanted, right?
Right. Yeah. He would
Okay.
like because he would tell him like drink pig's blood, and then what was his name? I can't remember his name. The one dude who's like a Viking vampire. He's like, I can't
Yes.
fucking drink pig's blood all the time. Like he's like, it fucks up my stomach. Like,
Yeah, I
but
remember
yeah,
that. Yep.
but yeah, and just I don't even like the first episode. Like you, when he meets his wife, it's like
Hmm.
he seems cool. Like he wanted to be away from the world. Like he
Hmm.
isolated himself, but then he met this lady and he was cool. Like, and she
Hmm.
wanted to show him she was like travel like a man, like a regular person, and he was cool with it. But then they killed his wife, which is out like that whole how they killed his wife. They played to his face, and
Yeah,
and it was crazy. And he was like, "Look, I'm gonna give you 1 year," which was super like nice. I wouldn't have done that, but he's like, "I'm gonna give you 1 year to get everything right. Get yourself straight. Get out of here."
but that's the
And
thing.
it
I like that because on a social issue, that shows how bound people are to religion. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying it is what
right,
it is. Like some people are so bound to religion, they can't be moved. Like the threat was right in their face, and they're like, "Well, I'm a person of God. I'm not moving." And it's
right,
like, and don't get me wrong, a lot of religious people don't look at things like that, but it shows you that in small villages and stuff like that, they're just very bound by religion, and I think that's historically accurate.
yeah. I yeah. I think you're right. But that's really one of the best parts of the whole Castlevania, just the whole story. Like they played in that man's face,
They did,
and then
and
he
didn't
destroyed
move.
the hotel. Right, didn't move. They laughed at him, told him to his face that his wife was a witch. Like,
Well, that priest, he was too.
it was all his fault, really.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely his fault. Like you, there's not anyone else he could really share the blame with. It's like directly his fault.
Right. He knew everybody would do what he say. They believed his word. He had too much pride. I think he knew he was wrong. Had too much pride to admit that he was wrong. Got a whole basically city state slaughtered.
Yeah.
And then the best part was when he was in the church and he was like, "You can't be here. This is God's house." And the demon's like, "God's not with you. Who you think sent us here?"
Oh shoot. Oh yeah, that was a
Like,
clever line. Oh shoot.
and I'm like, I think that's what got me hooked. And I
Okay.
was like, no matter what, I'm a watch what they show me. So whatever seasons they gonna put out.
It's crazy because I think I got hooked when. See, I knew I was gonna watch because Netflix didn't have a lot of BS on it yet when that came out.
Mm.
So I was with it. I didn't know I was gonna consider one of the best shows of all time when I was first watching it. So I was just with it. But once they unlocked Alucard from his coffin and the way they spun it, like basically they did that because they were looking for help, right?
Yeah, they were looking for. He was supposed to be the Messiah or the Savior that would help them
Hmm.
against Dracula.
Yeah, so I like they spun that, and then they were like really mixing. It's like, they trying to kill him, or
Right. And she was like, because Cypher was like, no, don't kill him. And Trevor Belmont, that's what his family does. So he's like,
yeah,
do I kill you or?
yeah. And Trevor gave it a good fight because Alucard is,
He did. Right. It basically ended in a draw.
yeah, which is the best case scenario for fighting Alucard because he's strong. Like you saw what he
Right.
did to Dracula.
Right. And that was a good fight. I don't think it was one of the. Well, it was a great fight, but
Hmm.
I like the fight more so just because what it meant. And
Emotional weight.
yeah, and it was
Hmm.
just like Dracula's fighting him, and he's like beating the shit out of Alucard, and he's like, and he sees the picture or he's in his room, he's like, I'm fighting my boy, and he basically just gives up.
Hmm.
But then like Alucard still kills him, but then I don't think Alucard realized what he did until after it was done, because then he started crying because the whole mission was like, I got it, we got to stop this, we got to kill it, and I don't think he was
Yeah.
even looking at Dracula as his father. He was just looking at Dracula as a threat to the world, and he's like, I got to end this. And then I think probably when he said, I'm fighting my boy, that's
Hmm.
when things started to change. But he already had killed him, and you saw that he was going to stop killing him. Like he was stopping, and then Trevor and Cypher were like, no, we got to finish. And then
So
they set
yeah, I
him
mean
on
because
fire.
they don't have. Yeah, it's interesting to see that emotional weight hold him, both of them down, and the other two just like whatever. They like
Right? Yeah.
they don't
Right.
even
Right.
acknowledge that, but
Yeah.
that's
They're
how
like,
it'll
nah,
be
dog.
in real time.
Right.
It's kind of like You ever play a multiplayer game and like I can't think of nothing right now, like Call of Duty or whatever, and y'all all
Mm,
have different perspectives on what's happening, even though y'all in the same fight?
right. Okay.
That's
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
that seems.
Yeah. You absolutely right because even after they kill him, Trevor's like whatever, and Cypher's like it's gonna be okay, but it's like they never realized that he just killed his dad, and he don't have
Yeah.
nobody left because his mom was already killed. Like he don't have nobody. He really just has them, and he don't really like. He gets along with Cypher, but he didn't. He really didn't get along with Trevor until
Yeah.
further along. So it was just like he
Mhm.
didn't have anybody.
Right. Which kind of led to the issues he caught himself up with in
Right. And the
was that
third with
four?
the
Season
twins,
4?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think it was the fourth with the twins, yeah.
Hmm.
So
So I guess the lesson there is loneliness sucks.
yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Do we want to move on to Invincible? I feel like
Yeah,
that one. All right.
yeah, that's cool
So as easily you give Castlevania a 10 out of 10.
for sure.
Okay.
Easily.
All right. We did not give Invincible season 2 a 10 out of 10, I would say, right?
Nah, I couldn't. It was already not getting a 10 out of 10 for how long I had. We had to wait for it, and I understand the whole strike. I understand that part, but still, we waited. It felt like 5 years. So what was it?
The
Two?
first season came out in 2020, right?
I think so. Yeah, or maybe it was. Maybe it was later than that, but we still waited so long for that
I'm about to
second
look real
season.
quick. Yeah, I mean, it came out 2021 and we got to see, even if they were a year behind, a new season should came out like 2023. Like usually when they
Yeah,
say
like
we are behind, it's an extra year, not extra 2 years.
right.
That's drawing. Especially when you realize like there's a lot of animated shows that just come out a year later every time.
Yeah, and also I just think with it being on Amazon and Amazon having a show like The Boys that doesn't make you wait that long and it's still pretty good. Like it's a good show.
Yeah,
It's
they
like all right,
use
what's going
CGI.
on? And like I understand it's an animation and it takes longer, but it's like damn. And I
But
think like this second season was good, but a lot of things that happened in the season, it was like I waited this long for this.
it didn't progress the story that much.
Right.
Like the way they left off season the way they left off the end of season 1 where they invaded. Give me 1 second. My bad. My dog's
Mhm.
tripping. Give me 2 seconds.
No problem.
The way they left off season 1, we thought we were gonna get more into that, and they really didn't. Like it felt like it felt like a bridge season more than like a continuation to the first season.
Yeah, I agree, especially the way season two ended. It felt like, well, I feel like this was all a build up for the next season.
It was definitely a build up. Like I feel like season 1 could have been sorry, the entirety of season 2 could have been half of season 2 if they were just willing to progress the story.
Yeah,
Like they like I get it. You gotta build characters, but how much do we care about Amber
right. How much you
and
care about
Mark?
Amber?
Like,
Right, and knowing that they probably weren't like they weren't going to be anything.
yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's already spoiled. Like if you do you know anything about the story after this?
not really. No, I try
Good.
not to. Yeah,
You're
I
lucky.
try not to read. Like once I found out it was a comic, I was like, all right, well, because when I first seen Invincible, I just thought it was just like some brand new thing. And then
Mhm.
I did the research and it's a comic, and I was like, well, I'm not going to try to read and see
Mhm.
what happens, and then be like, all right, well then, because that'll for me, it'll make me
Mhm.
not watch what they're going to show me.
I agree with that. And
So
so far, from what I know, I didn't see any the spoilers, but people are saying like they imply that it's been pretty close to the comics.
okay.
So you're doing the right thing. Now they edit some things for. We gotta get to this topic soon. Did you see the comment for the audio
Hey man,
audience
y'all
for
know
the
how I feel
Spotify
about
listeners?
y'all know how I feel about that.
So Derron is a Mavs fan, big Dirk guy, obviously. Um, he thinks Dirk is hands down better than KG, but we'll get to that
It,
in a couple.
it's
You want
like
you
a
want to just address that
like.
nonsense here?
I mean, for me, it's just not an argument. Like, ain't no,
Not even an argument.
it's not an argument for everybody. Oh, KG defense, he could guard off five. All right, he could guard off five. I watched Dirk manhandle him a whole series. Like, I think Dirk gave him what, like 33 and 12 a whole. Never, it's cool. I just got Dirk. To me, is if you're going to count Tim Duncan as a power forward, which most people do, and I do too, but I mean, he played most of his time as a center, but he's the second greatest power forward of all time. And like the stuff I've seen Dirk do, just I can't put KG above him. He even beat him when KG was on the Celtics. Like his head-to-head record against KG is better.
Mm-hmm.
He went to the finals twice, just like KG went to the finals twice. But
Okay.
Dirk carried the team. Dirk carried.
So you give points. You give more points to Dirk for being the main driver.
Yes, I know KG was the main driver in Minnesota, and most of his Minnesota teams weren't that good. I mean, he got to the Western Conference Finals. Of course, he came up against the Lakers, and I don't expect anybody to beat the Lakers, that team. So it's not like I'm going to take points away from him
So you're being
from losing to the
you're trying to
Lakers.
be fair.
Yeah, I just what I seen Dirk do, like
Mm-hmm.
2006, he lost when he lost Steve Nash. I think most people thought Steve Nash was the best player on that team. Dirk proved that he was the best player on that team.
You think people really thought
2006,
that?
I think so. At least that's what I thought when I was younger.
Okay.
I didn't think we was gonna be good with it without Steve Nash, but I feel like once Steve Nash left, Dirk took his game to another level. And he just always had that knock on him that he was soft. But to
Okay.
me, Dirk wasn't soft. It was just you could do whatever you want to Dirk. It just didn't bother him. And because he didn't react how other people react, they labeled him as soft. But he's always been like one of the clutchest players ever. Minus, I guess, if you want to say 2006, he choked, which I would say he did. But I mean,
In 2006.
2000, yeah. I mean, a lot of people say the D Wade thing, but I can't. He did have unreasonable amount of free throws, but I can't blame that for
So
the
you're saying
reason for
both things
losing.
could be true, type thing.
Yeah, yeah,
But you still have to blame Dirk.
yeah.
Okay.
You can't. He's the best player on the team. He's the
Mm-hmm.
MVP. Like so, it happens. Like 2008 was oh my god, probably the worst year to be a Mavs fan. Like Dirk gets the MVP and then he loses in the first round, only wins one game. So
What
it's
was that? Do
like,
we believe?
yeah, we believe Warriors.
Uh
So
that
I
pissed
mean,
me off too. Actually, I like that was a good team.
yeah, it just pissed me off because when you hear the Warriors talk about it, they was like, well, only thing they had to do was play a big man. I think they said if they played, what was it, Eric Dampress on the team? It was like if they just changed it up and just played the big man, it would have messed up everything. And they never did that. And it's just like they got cooked every single game.
My bad. The dog came back in. But
Oh, it's all good.
give me one second. Mike says he wants to jump on to talk about it with you. You good with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Then we'll kick him out and talk about Invincible.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, give me one second. I'm about to put Mike back on this joint.
No problem.
Carl, just leave the door open. I'm live.
I was trying to shut it.
No, leave it open. He's barking. All right, my bad, y'all. My bad. But yeah, I forgot what I was saying, to be honest.
Oh, you're saying you're gonna let Mike in so we can talk about KG versus
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm sending him the link right now. But he's a KG guy. I don't know if you knew that. Did he
I
ever give
mean,
you an? Oh, you did know?
actually, no. I actually didn't think he was a well, not that he wasn't, but he never came off like as a super KG guy.
Oh no, that's like his guy. Like
I know that.
he don't talk about him a lot, like publicly, not from what I see, but like when we text, he brings up his love for Kevin Garnett a lot. But
You know,
yeah,
I
I
think
don't know.
the most annoying thing about KG for me is, I feel like he's a fake tough guy.
I see how you get there. Um, the the one part for KG that didn't work for me was um when he was like, "We don't fear LeBron" or whatever, and it was just like, "Why are you saying this?" When he was on Bill
Right.
Simmons' podcast.
Yeah, I ain't like that. I mean, we don't fear LeBron, but they never the Celtics beat LeBron when he was a Cavalier. But once he was with the Heat, it was like they did not that they didn't stand a chance because they had game sixes and game sevens, but it was just like you could clearly see that
Mm-hmm.
they could do nothing with him. Like,
Hold on, I'm just call him because it's not working.
okay,
I'm gonna do the Joe Budden. Do you listen to that podcast, by the way?
not anymore. I couldn't like I still watch clips and the clips that
Mm-hmm.
I see are funny, but ever since Rory and Maul left,
Yeah.
I can't get into it because like I'll watch
Oh,
it.
1 second, he's on.
Oh okay.
It's the KG hotline. How may I help you?
What's up?
Can you hear me, Dirk?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah,
He's responding.
yeah, I
Can you
can
hear
hear
him
you.
or not?
No, I can't hear him.
Okay.
Uh,
Well, Derron, say something real quick.
can you hear me?
No, you're gonna have to tell me what he's saying.
Oh, okay. Let me just call you back because it's not working.
All right.
All right. But yeah, no, we'll just have a different time later, so we can do basketball.
Yeah, cool. I'm down.
Okay. But Invincible though. What do you give? What do you give this season?
I I give it a I say a 7.5 out of 10, maybe even an 8. It's just
Mhm.
like I said, we waited too long to introduce it, and then like on Twitter, they're like, "All right, season 2 coming soon. Here's a trailer for the trailer of season 2. All right, here's a trailer for season 2." And then you get to it, and the first couple episodes, it's cool. Like I'm loving it, and then they talk about a break. You like, damn, I just waited 2 years for season 2, and then you telling me I got a break, and the break was long as hell.
The break was what, like 6 weeks?
Yeah, I'm like, damn, like I would have just rather you waited and gave me the whole season.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I'll admit, I ain't like that at all.
Yeah, I just think they handled it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think the introduction of a character, I guess who I felt like was supposed to be important, it took forever. Like you would see just maybe like a minute or 30-second clips of what he's doing, and then you finally get to him in the last episode, and it's like I felt like this should have been happened. But
A lot of side stories took up some time too, like the Mars thing.
yeah,
Like, and I wasn't not entertained by it, but it took a valuable time in the Viltrumite invasion. The Yeah, see, it's hard because it's like realistically, it's probably an 8, which is really good. But like,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like it's a good season. It's just everything took too long. Like I feel like that's just the whole like summary of season 2 is just everything took too long.
yeah, they yeah, it just dragged. Like they could trim some of those episodes and turn that into more of a Viltrumite thing, but maybe I've also learned sometimes you gotta let people tell the story they want. Maybe as far as flow, they couldn't introduce some Viltrumite things for certain reasons. I mean, I'm making excuses for them low key
Mm.
because I think they could have introduced more. Like it
That's
took.
what yeah, I mean that's what I thought was going to happen because we waited so long. I thought it was like, damn, this is going to be a season of just a bunch of stuff that's going to happen. It's just like
Mhm.
that's not what happened.
You know what? I don't even know why I didn't think of this, but my frustration is also that the villain at the end of season 2 was that's where we ended at with the guy, the really smart guy. What's his name?
Right. I couldn't remember. I was trying to think of it as I was talking about him, but
Mhm.
I couldn't remember his name.
Yeah, like I didn't really want that to be last episode because that last episode had nothing to do with the Viltrumite Empire, correct?
Right, yeah. And that's why I thought we would see him
Hmm.
much earlier than what we did, and it just dragged out.
Yeah, and again, it's hard because it's like when it's all said and done, like if we were able to say Invincible happened before we were born and we got the complete series, it's 5 seasons. Had we watched it straight through, we wouldn't have a problem with it.
Right,
But the pacing now is like we're waiting for it and they take forever to release episodes. It's like y'all gotta get to the point.
right. And I think the best thing about season two, I don't even know if it counts as part of being season two, was that the Adam Eve episode that we
That
got.
was a good one. But
Like
that's
that
because
was the
they're
best thing
focused.
they did.
They had a point and they got to it. Sometimes that matters.
Right. And we
Like,
got like her whole backstory, and
yeah.
for real, I mean, she seems like one of the best characters, and like she could. It seemed like she could do anything, but I feel
And
like that's the best thing that they did.
the only thing she can't do, I think she can't affect like organic matter, like people, right?
Yeah,
But they explained that, right? They locked that part of her brain or something.
I don't remember.
Oh,
They
okay.
might.
I might have
I gotta
read
rewatch
something.
that. Yeah.
Okay. No, I could have read ahead by accident. So that could have been only a comic thing. But she
Okay.
is like at her peak, she's supposed to be OP. She's supposed to be like in some ways she's like their Wanda.
I don't.
Like because Wanda makes things out of nothing or turns things to other things too.
Yeah, that's another. Damn, you might be right. I mean, she seems like at her full power, she would be like a problem for anybody in that show.
Yeah, like if she got to like if they were planning on giving her full powers or like upgrading her powers, she could turn a Viltrumite into whatever, probably. And they don't have no weakness as far as we know, right? The Viltrums, that's what the Viltrumites.
Uh, I think no. Don't they have a hard time? They struggle with a certain type of alien or something.
I don't know.
And
I mean,
that was in the books that Mark's dad was reading or
oh
writing. Yeah.
yes. Why? But they didn't explain why that alien
No,
hurt. Okay.
yeah, no. I don't think they explained it, but they said they just have a hard time with them.
See, and I think they're doing that. It kind of feels like they're doing that just so we're on the hook for another season.
Probably so. I mean, yeah. I mean, you probably right. And I would watch season three just to find out what happens.
I
But
would too.
that's another thing. Yeah, but that's another thing where they could have explained it more, even if they didn't put it in season two. Like it would have helped. Like, but
Mhm.
I just think they did all of season two. Like the whole rollout, everything was wrong, and it affected the way I felt about the show.
I think I'm with you. And then they had the nerve to I mean, I ain't mad at it. I'm kind of mad at it, but they tried to do the whole explain themselves thing at the Comic Con,
Yeah,
like saying how hard animation is. I get it, animation is hard, but like 3 years for what was it, 8 episodes or was it 10?
I think it was eight. Yeah, because the break was like at four, and then we got 4 episodes after that. So yeah, I think it was eight.
And they're funded by Amazon, unless Amazon's being cheap. But
Yeah. They even
'cause-
put that in the episodes, I think, where they're like, animation takes long, and I'm like, all right, you can't. That's not fair to us. Like, we know it takes long, but it still took like unreasonable amount of time. Like,
right, like DBZ again different because I think they say those animators in Japan get treated like crap. So, but don't they be releasing like a whole chunk of episodes like per
yeah,
season? So yeah, like and it'd be every year. I mean, before this long 7 year
yeah,
break they took, but when anime like when DBZ was DBZ, they was dropping these joints every year. We can't like if Invincible is 2 years, if they do these
yeah,
seasons every 2 years, I might be
yeah. I'll be out because I'm not going to be interested
yeah,
that long. Like, because season one was so good, and I don't know how big of a fan base Invincible had before they made the show, but like when I first saw it, it just like popped off the screen, and I wanted more. Like,
yeah.
And so that, and I thought season 2 would be better than season 1. I don't think it was, but it was still good. That
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tune in for season 3. But let's say season 3 is 2 years and
Mm-hmm.
is just as good as season 2. I'm not going to be excited for season 4. I don't even think, like, I might not even be interested anymore.
Yeah, like I'm probably passively interested, but I wouldn't be like
Right, like
itching
every
for it no more.
Friday, yeah, like every Friday I'm going home, putting on Amazon Prime because I want to watch this. Like,
Yeah, like I'm 33. I'm not trying to have a show end when I'm like 43 and it's 4
right,
seasons. Like that would be
right.
wild. Like imagine taking your daughter to high school and being like, this show came out when you was like 3. She'd be like, Dad, shut up. How many seasons it got? 4 seasons.
Grand Theft Auto 5 of anime, like,
It really is. It really is. Oh
like, yeah, I
man.
wouldn't want that. But
So
hopefully, it'll be better. Like season 3, maybe season 3 or we in 2024, so maybe beginning of 2025 or something like that. Like that's acceptable to me because it just ended. So like it comes out early 2025. I
yeah,
can
because
accept that. But then,
well, it ended around no, it took the break around Christmas, I think, right?
yeah,
Yeah, they kind of got to run that season by like winter, spring.
right. Like they can't wait till summer of 2020. Like no, like
Matter of fact, let me see when it's projected to come out. Invincible season 3. I'm googling it now. Okay, the Direct, which is a decent website, says the headline says Invincible season 3 gets a reassuring release update official. I'm speed reading. Oh no, now they're saying it's cryptic. They're saying at the earliest end of this year, but
that would, that would
no,
be amazing because then it would make up
it
for
would.
season
But
2.
it's saying they're saying more realistically. He said at New York Comic Con it will be early 2025, so winter.
That's not bad. Like see, yeah,
Yeah,
that's not bad though. Like that makes sense. Like you just can't be coming to like, oh, it's September. Here you go. Like, nah, can't have a long
yeah,
wait again.
yeah. You can't do September 2025. You're gonna piss some people off. People will watch it, but if you do it once, you do it twice. It's probably just gonna be your habit at that point.
Yeah,
So they definitely gotta try their best to do it like winter 2025. And I mean winter, I mean like January, February, March at the latest.
I agree.
All right, so let's now that we're killing Invincible, let's talk about what we like about the show. We did a little bit, but what did you like about season 2 itself?
Uh, I would say, I mean, the thing I like most about season 2 is the Adam Eve. Um, I think what I liked about season 2 also is just how you get to see how everything affected Mark's mom. I
Hmm.
think that was kind of great. Like, and how people look at her. Like, people don't look at her as a victim. They look at her kind of like the villain. Like, this was your husband. Like, and he was doing the craziest shit. Like, you was down with it.
Are you saying people within their world?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I thought you meant fans for a second. Yeah,
Oh,
no,
oh
yeah,
no,
you're
not
right.
fans. No, no, no.
Okay,
I,
no,
yeah.
yeah, I agree with that. Um, but she was blindsided, which a lot of people don't share that perspective. But she was blindsided by it, the way Mark was.
Right. Yeah, because I mean, she always thought of him as the greatest guy on earth, and then she finds out he killed all those superheroes, and then beat the dog shit out of Mark. Like,
Yeah.
and in the process, killed thousands of people and didn't care. Like he was ruthless about it. Like,
Hmm.
and then to top it all off, he called her a pet.
Yeah.
Like he just crushed her. And then, like you said, nobody in their world seen it that way. They just seen her as, oh, that was his wife. She knew what he was capable of. She never told us, so it was cool. Like,
Even Cecil didn't see it coming. He's supposed to be like the Nick Fury type.
yeah, I
So
think that. And then I think who's like Cecil's like I guess it would be his right hand man. Was it Donald?
Donald,
Yeah, him finding out that he's basically like he's a robot, he's a cyborg, and he's died a bunch of times.
how do you feel about that storyline?
I I like that storyline a lot because like I said, I didn't know anything about Invincible, so
Mhm.
that kind of threw me off. And
That's new. They
shit,
said
oh, that
like giving it that much time. That's new. I don't
that's
know
new.
that from It was spoiler free when I listened to it on a pop. Do you know who Van Lathan is?
Yeah.
He has a podcast where he talks about this kind of stuff,
Oh, okay.
and you'll probably like it. But he was saying he's an old head, so he'd be knowing about the comics from back then. So he was basically saying that without it being a spoiler, they didn't dig into it. Like that's a TV thing.
Okay. But yeah,
But no,
I
I
like
liked
that
it.
a lot.
Ironically, he didn't like that.
Yeah, right. Like he didn't like that. And I thought about it from his perspective. How would you feel like he didn't know that he was dying? He like found it out, and he's like, "Well, shit. Like I would just rather been dead." But like when you find out, it's like, damn, he died a bunch of times. Like
Yeah, there's like infinite files.
it was crazy. I like that. And then I like what's the episode? I can't think of the the guy, the superhero's name, but the guy that can do the flame, like you could throw the flames.
Oh, they're
They get,
running Gambit kind of.
yeah,
Rex
uh,
Road.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like that, the episode. Well, it wasn't about him, but about the team where they were fighting like the lizard army or the serpent army. I think that was my favorite episode. I liked that episode a lot. I just like that character a lot, and I like the voice actor a lot because he does a
Yeah.
lot of stuff and he's hilarious. So
Oh, you seen him in other things?
yeah,
See, I
like
know him from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
okay, like the same voice actor. He's in Big Mouth,
Oh,
and I
I didn't
think
know that.
he voices the character Jay, I believe.
Okay.
And Jay is just a funny fucking character. So like,
Okay.
yeah,
Is Big Mouth over now? It just ended, right?
I don't know. I didn't finish watching the last season, but I thought
Okay.
it was supposed to be over.
Okay. But yeah, he is a funny character. I think he's actually a comedian in real life,
Yeah,
or he's at least a comedic actor. I know him as one. He was like this thrown off cop on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I don't remember his name right now, but he was like, I mean, it's a cop show, and he's like, oh, he's tripping. So he's funny in almost everything.
I got to start watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I heard it was funny. So
You will like it, especially with the stuff I've seen you post over the years. You will like Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I'm gonna give it a shot.
Yeah, because it's kind of like Fresh Prince in the way where it's like they know how to balance story and comedy, but it's still comedy first.
Okay.
So you will like it. But yeah, I was cool with the Donald thing. People online didn't like it, but I was fine with it. What did I like? I like the Viltrumite fights. I like that they explain why Mark isn't that strong sometimes. And it's kind of like he has that Gohan factor. He has to like want to fight.
Yeah, that's the perfect like example. But like, I hate Gohan. But
Really?
I think yeah, I hate Gohan.
But that's the creator's fault because he toned down Gohan to give Goku shine. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
So the show was supposed to be the reason they killed Goku off against Cell is because it was supposed to be Gohan's show going forward. But the fans reacted so harshly to that idea. Well, some fans, I don't think it was an overwhelming amount, but the creator felt the pressure and he was just too attached to Goku. So he dumbed Gohan down. Whereas in Naruto, the sequel series, people don't like it. I don't watch it that much. But what I do know is that Naruto and his son are both strong. Even though they toned Naruto down a little bit, but they ain't like fully cancel both people out. Like they made them both strong.
Yeah.
So I think they should have did that in Dragon Ball Z. Like, why not just have Goku and Gohan be strong?
Well, I feel like they kind of try to do that. I don't like with what's the movie that just came out? Dragon Ball Z, I think Hero.
Superhero or something?
Where it's basically just about Gohan and Piccolo. They say like Gohan. I'm not sure if it's true. I gotta research it. I haven't researched it, but they say like Gohan's new transformation, he's supposed to be as strong as Goku, and
I
that's
read
my
that
thing.
too, actually.
I don't like that because he didn't do anything to deserve that. Like He's always been like, I don't want to fight. I don't want to do this.
But
And
look
then
at it like this. He's like Gohan's like Frieza. Because Frieza didn't train at all.
yeah, but no, he did train.
No.
But
For most of his life he didn't train, and he was
oh
at
yeah,
Super
well yeah,
Saiyan level. So
right.
now that he trained, he's really strong. Whereas Gohan trained before, but stopped wanting to fight. So in a way, he's like Frieza. He had to put the pieces back together. Now he wants to fight, so now he's strong.
I can see that, but then it's just like,
And Broly too.
Broly is just different. Like I don't.
Broly's too
Broly,
strong though, because he was throwing hands with Super Saiyan gods, and he's just like, all I did was fight bears on my planet.
right? Yeah, it's just yeah, it's kind of like the same with him. But like when we're introduced to Broly,
Mm-hmm.
like way back when, it's just like he's the legendary Super Saiyan.
Mm-hmm.
So like by giving him that title, it's like, all right, he's supposed to be like that.
Okay. But
Like,
I mean, to be fair, Gohan, I like this as a Dragon Ball Z conversation. But Gohan's whole selling point was he's the kid with potential.
yeah,
He just has to want it.
it has to
Like
want it. Yeah, but that was my thing. Like he didn't want it. Like after Cell, he
mm-hmm.
didn't want it. Even when he became like, what was it, the Sandman? Like he didn't want to do it. He wanted to be into the books, like his mom made him want to be in the books and the study. And it's just like, how can he go from all that, taking all that time off, and all Goku and Vegeta do is train? They don't care about nothing else. All they do is train, and then all right,
Because
this
Goku's
dude
not a
comes along.
prodigy.
He's
Goku
not,
just has
but
willpower.
and all he does is work. And the same with Vegeta. Like they just work
Vegeta's
nonstop
slightly
work.
a prodigy though.
Yeah, principal. Yeah,
Like he comes
but
from a royal bloodline, but he's not like a super duper prodigy. Whereas Gohan is not the prodigy Broly is, but he is technically a prodigy.
true. But it's like you gonna see Gohan put in the work.
You know what? We're spending too much time on this. Not that I don't want to talk about it, but
Mm.
I'm saying in the respect that DBZ's power scaling, Dragon Ball's power scaling is kind of weird because it's like 17 was too strong from what we knew. Like
Yeah,
in 2010, if you would have showed us a picture and said 17 is as strong as a new Super Saiyan form, we would have laughed. We would have thought that was
right.
Google. We would have thought that was AI.
Yeah, I agree.
So all you have to do is write in the reason, and within that world, it does make sense. Like if you don't overthink it, like
Yeah,
there's big leaps in that world.
I think
It
that's
happens.
yeah, and I think that's what most Dragon Ball Z fans do, or I know I tend to do it. Like I overthink it. Like it don't make sense. But in that world, all you got to do, is train nonstop for like a week, and then
Yeah,
or
find a
go to a hyperbolic time chamber, and you
yeah,
come out and you a whole different person. So
you
yeah,
find
in
a
that
loophole in
world,
the
it does
training
make sense.
too.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, with Frieza, it actually makes sense because Frieza didn't even know how to read energy. So, and he was too strong. He was planet buster strong. So, I get it. Like, it makes sense sometimes, but like, they introduce a new loophole and it works. Whatever,
yeah,
it works for them. But yeah, Mark is definitely Gohan like, and I think that's kind of weird because it's like, but I get it too. Like, it's psychological. His dad is a two Earthlings. His dad's a homicidal maniac.
yeah,
So he's like, I don't want to be like him. But at the same time, it's like it's gonna happen again if you keep like you're already fighting, so you just gotta really fight. Like it just
yeah.
is what it is.
Yeah. You got to let everything go and just fight, and
Yeah,
he can't do it.
I mean,
But I
but
think
that's what would you say he's basically depressed or something psychological?
yeah,
Like he
I
definitely
would
needs a
say,
therapist.
yeah, I would say and he's just like super confused. Like he
Mhm.
just doesn't know what he wants to do, and it's just every part of his life. But it makes sense because he's a teenager. He's just
Yeah,
graduated
yeah.
high school. If you think about it, like where we were in high, like you had no idea what you wanted to do
Mhm.
or who you wanted to be, and he just got powers. He's trying to figure out how to use them, how to be the best at that, and then his dad is a psychopath, but he still loves him because that's his dad. Like he knows a different person.
Yeah,
He's just learning that his dad is who he is.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, definitely.
It's funny because he's Gohan and his dad's basically Vegeta.
Yeah,
Like as far as,
yeah, for sure.
or
Those are like
rather,
perfect comparisons.
yeah,
Perfect comparisons. Yeah,
like get sent to Earth by the Empire, and it's like that's an interesting thing because that happens a lot. Like even in our world, not to get into like real politics and all that, but when you live in a society, you're just like, this is right. Like what's his name? Mark's dad. Oh, Omni Man. I can't think of his real name.
I can't either.
But Omni Man, he was born into this empire, and they're like, yo, we're better than everybody, and you're bringing them liberation by doing this. Like they're choosing their downfall when they decide not to join us. And season 2 is about him undoing the thinking he was born into, which a lot of people don't realize sometimes that that's a real thing.
Yeah,
Like
and that's a hard thing to do. Like, yeah, something being told to you all your life and being
by
installed in
everyone
you all
around
your
you.
life, right? And then you figure, like, once you see, you understand what you're doing, and you think it's wrong, it's hard to unlearn, or just even not even hard to unlearn. It's hard to fathom all the things that you've done that you thought were right.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah,
Like imagine he has to deal with everything he did. And but at the same time, he's like, am I like am I thinking like, do I think I'm wrong or am I just weak and a waste of time?
right.
And
And
that's
like, yeah, because he's hearing from the people that not they grew up with, but like the Viltrumites, like, yeah, you weak for thinking this way. Like, what's wrong with you? But then he's looking at Mark and the people on Earth and his wife, like, damn. So
yeah,
I think that's another good thing about season 2 is that.
that's a good thing. That's the one that highlights the way they portray different feelings. How did you feel about the bad guy? Do you know who played him, by the way? The bad guy at the end? The one, the
No,
big brain?
mm-mm.
It's the guy who played Killmonger's dad on Black Panther.
Really,
The one they killed.
damn. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's him. So they definitely put money into the voice cast. Um, yeah, so I don't know where I was going with that. How did you feel about his gripe with like his issue of Invincible? Did that make any sense to you? Did you like it? Did you dislike it?
To
Did it
me,
matter?
I didn't. I understood it,
Mm-hmm.
but I felt like it was maybe an overreaction, and
Yeah, I thought so too.
yeah, like I got it, but like the whole time I was like, hey, he overreacting a little bit, like, or he could have did something to fix it instead of the whole thing. The only way I can fix it is by killing you. Like, not, it didn't make
Yeah,
sense.
he could have searched the universe for a cure or something.
Right. And it's like, yeah, it's an overreaction, and there's other options, but
I mean, that's the lesson. Sometimes you spend more energy trying to blame somebody than to fix the issue.
right.
Yeah, he definitely did too much. And then he kidnapping the baby, breaking the mom's leg. It's like you're the bad guy you're trying to stop.
Right. And that's what, watching the last episode, that's definitely what it was. It was like you remembering how he is in another universe, and he's not this way, and you're like still overreacting. Like, you're
Yeah.
going, I didn't like it. So yeah, I did, like, I liked it, but I didn't like it.
Yeah, like it's like, bro, what's your problem? Which is probably what makes it good.
Yeah.
But like on a personal level, it's like this guy's nuts.
What, you know what? That makes me think, like, how Mark was like
Mhm.
evil. I actually like that. I wanted to see more of that. Like, to
I
see
think
what
we
he,
will.
oh,
Like if I had to bet money on it, I think we will.
yeah,
And that's
I
not from
like
me knowing anything. But I
I
see a
like
lot of
it
pictures
just to
of
see him
he was
like as
blue in that one, right?
ruthless. Yeah, it
Okay.
was like blue and black. Yeah,
Yeah.
to see him as ruthless as Omni Man was, I was like, I like that. I would like to see more of that, just a storyline of that. But
But I also would like to see how he got there, because at one point he was probably like our Mark, like just saving people.
yeah, and then something happened. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I don't know. Maybe that timeline he didn't meet Adam Eve. No, he met Adam Eve in almost all the other timelines. I don't know. I have no idea what I'm saying then. But those aren't even timelines. Those are like different dimensions, technically.
right? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I have no guesses, but it'll be interesting. So I also like that how we didn't understand that one Viltrumite, the one who sent Alan. That's the alien's name, Alan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't sorry, my phone just rang. But
Oh, that's all good.
first of all, the guy that Viltrumite who was with Alan, side note, he's the one who plays Optimus Prime in all the movies and old shows. So if you
Damn.
ever go back
Yeah,
and
they
watch,
put
it
it.
sounds just like
Well,
him.
yeah, they put a lot of money in there because
Yeah.
Alan is Seth Rogen.
I think Seth Rogen's a producer on this though, right?
Yeah.
He's a producer on this and The Boys.
I don't know about the boys. He might be.
Okay.
I
Which
thought I saw something about him and the boys, but I know for sure he's uh has a lot to do with Invincible.
okay. Yeah. He's been in his sci-fi comedic bag lately. Okay, so he is a producer. I don't know what he contributes though. And I don't feel like clicking a link right now. Oh, he's a character in The Boys, technically.
Yeah,
I forgot.
I forget what character he was.
He played
Because
himself, he said.
did he?
Yeah. Seth
Oh,
Rogen's a celebrity within the world of The Boys. Okay. The Boys. That's what we're going to talk about next, like next time you're on. Because that show's unhinged. Like
I
Invincible.
think
My
that's the
bad.
best part about it. That's the best part about it to me, that it is unhinged. Like,
Yeah, but my OG Doug, he was telling me how The Boys is created by a British guy.
mm,
So he's just taking American tropes and he's looking at this is how superheroes are or how they should be. Like so it's like his perspective as a foreigner from a different Western country.
okay,
So I get that view. Like the Avengers wouldn't just be these do-gooders, like,
right.
but it's an overreaction to what he thinks American heroes are, if you ask me. Because I think there would be some heroes that screw things up like a lot.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
naturally there'll be some people that just going to do it because they want to do it. Like if I feel like if Martin Luther King had superpowers, he just use them for good.
that makes sense. I think what I like about the boys, well, when I first seen it, it's just you get to see what people would like. Because if people did get powers, are they
Mhm.
going, like you said, are they just going to choose to be good, or are they going to choose to be a terrible person? Like,
Mhm.
is it? It's going to show you like who they truly are, or if they get powers, they don't want to be
Yeah,
around nobody. Like, yeah, that's what I liked about it, and you get to see like the realistic, like, because when you watch cartoons or comics, somebody gets thrown into a building or they get thrown into a person and they're super strong, nothing happens. They just make sure the person's fine. But like the very first episode, you see A Train run into somebody and she completely explodes. So it's like,
yeah, yeah. It could, like that's a different take. And the one part when Homelander went on the plane and
yeah,
they're like, "Can you just
and
pick the plane up?" And he's like, "It doesn't work that way."
yeah, I can't do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I was like, "Oh, I guess that makes sense."
And that's, yeah, I like that part because it's like, he's being real. He's like, I can't do this. But then the part that makes him Homelander and that makes you sick is like he didn't care. He's like,
No,
oh, these people are going to die. Let's roll out.
and that's what makes him kind of sadistic. Like he's what's the
Right.
Omni Man to me because he's not even a function of society. That's
Yeah.
who he is.
He's like, they're gonna die. I'm better than them anyway.
But
Like
see,
Omni Man,
that's the bingo, the part right there. He's better than them anyway
right?
because he didn't even try to take two people. Like had it been like Clark Kent
Right.
with a more limited power set, he would have took them out one by one. Like and whoever didn't make it, but he would have tried.
Right, and that's what the lady was like. Can you at least take my dirt? He's like, nah, y'all gonna die.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not here for that. Yeah, so did he go to court for that? He went to court for that, I think, right? Or they released
yeah,
the
because
footage?
they released the footage.
Hmm. Yeah, so they're doing all that to show that. Again, I don't feel like being political tonight because I don't got the energy, but he's their Trump character.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
he's definitely a Trump character because it's like they're trying to show we can show you these things, and whoever's really into Homelander doesn't care. They'll keep
Yeah,
making
it's not
excuses
going to
for him.
matter. They'll make an excuse and they'll love him for it. So
Yeah, like the way they spun the whole story of him burning a protester. It's like that protester couldn't really hurt you, and y'all found a way to justify that. So yeah, do you have how far are you in the boys right now? You got one more episode.
yeah, one more episode.
Oh, it's a good one. You'll like it.
I
Some
heard.
people
Yeah,
some people say it's the best of the season. I For me, I'm not gonna lie, it runs all together for me, so I don't remember. But my
yeah.
cousins were just talking about it, and they're like, "That was the best one." And I was like, "Don't remember."
I'm gonna try to do it this weekend. I got some
Okay.
time, so
All right. Well, let's. I want to do some wrap up questions.
okay.
So I like to. Usually, your first time on the pod is when I give you the most wrap up questions. Favorite fictional character, preferably someone with powers or that could fight.
Vegeta.
Vegeta. You're a Vegeta
Yeah.
person in DBZ, right?
Yes.
Okay. How do you feel about Goku while we're here?
Um. I'm. I mean, I'm not like a huge Goku fan,
He's just
but
there.
it's just like, not even he's just there. He's just like Goku. When I think of Goku, I just think of. I would say like the goat, just because my whole childhood, or basically like my first anime
Mm-hmm.
show
Mm-hmm.
is like go. I seen Goku, and you just see Goku. He's just the strongest dude you've ever seen.
Yeah.
And it's just like from that point on, and that's how it's been. That's how I see Goku. But he's not like my favorite character. Like to me, like he's not. He's dumb, but he's smart. Like when it comes to fighting, he's very intelligent.
But they made
But
him
like some of
dumber
like
in Super.
yeah, and it's like outside of fighting, like he's an idiot. But like to me, my just Vegeta is my favorite character
Mm-hmm.
with anything.
Okay. Um, Favorite superheroes, like American superhero.
Um, I would say it used to be Wolverine when I was smaller, like
He
when I
was
was a when I
yeah.
was a kid.
He ran the
But
world back then
yeah,
between him and
but
Spider-Man.
I would say probably Spider Man.
Okay. What made you change from Wolverine to Spider-Man?
Uh, really, it's been like video games and just
That's a good reason.
video games, the movies. Like to me, there's not a bad Spider Man movie, but
I think I'm with you.
yeah. So, but yeah, it's Spider Man.
Okay. Favorite. So your favorite anime seemed to be Dragon Ball, like the whole Dragon Ball franchise and Castlevania.
Yeah,
What's your favorite American action cartoon?
American action cartoon.
So I could throw some examples at you if you want.
Go ahead.
So it'd be like Justice League, Spider-Man, Ben 10.
Justice League Unlimited.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Did you see the Dragon Ball Z inspiration in the later seasons?
No.
Look up the clip when Superman fights Darkseid.
Okay.
And
All right.
remember that happens in like 06. So that's when Toonami was a thing. Well, no, Toonami ended, but we just came off that Toonami era. And they incorporated that because American cartoons before Justice League and Avatar, their fights wasn't all that. We were watching it because they had powers, then it was, it was a
Right.
cool episode. But fighting was for Toonami. So you'll see like at the tail end of Justice League Unlimited, they were really mixing. Look up Superman versus Darkseid and Superman versus Captain Marvel.
Okay.
And I think after you see that, it'll also connect you to Superman versus Captain Atom. Are you actually taking notes?
Yeah. So
Oh man, you're my kind of guest. And the fights are all like, the dark side one's pretty short, so you'll get through them pretty quickly.
okay.
Um, you'll see the DBZ, the Dragon Ball Z inspiration. They because the fights were always good in American cartoons, but obviously Dragon Ball Z and Yu Yu Hakusho and even Naruto, because people don't realize we used to get the anime like years later.
Yeah.
So Naruto's actually older than people realize. So Naruto helped inspire a lot of this stuff too. So my last question. No, not my last question. My last batch of questions. Favorite rapper?
Favorite rapper? I would say like
You can give me one and two.
right now, or just like overall.
Give me right now and give me all time.
Right now, my favorite rapper is Stove God,
You talk about him a lot. Okay.
and overall, I would have to say it's Homer, but it's me. Just overall, just my favorite rapper overall. Yeah.
But you've been consistent on that since like we were young.
Yeah.
Okay. So you just have to ignore his tweets?
I mean, I do, but then like I ignore his tweets for a couple like one, some of the shit he just says is dumb, like whatever. But then also it's just Meek is now one of them people. Ever since the Drake beef, he's just a cool person to make fun of or a cool person to make seem dumb. So half the time I just don't even pay attention to it. And
Got
then
it.
sometimes I feel like when he does ask questions like on Twitter, like he's being genuine because he doesn't know. But it's like you can Google this.
It
So
do be that. Like he really do
right.
want to know. He's really asking for info, but you could Google it. But at the same
Yeah, but
time, it's kind of sad because I get it. Because sometimes you want the conversation with people.
right.
So it's like I get it, but like because like you said, he's already Meek. It's like it's easy to just be like, bro, we told you to shut up before. We want you to shut up now.
Right.
So I get that. Okay. Favorite Marvel movie?
Favorite Marvel movie is going to be it's between two. Infinity Wars
Mhm.
and the first Blade.
Okay, those are good choices. Okay, so Marvel or DC?
Um I'm gonna say Marvel just because they make better like theater movies,
Hmm.
but DC, if you watch any of their animated movies like on HBO Max, they're all
Yes.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, they're really good at those. It's kind of weird that they don't just get those writers and that
Right.
vision onto the big screen. Okay. I'm trying to see if I have any other questions. I usually think of these questions as I'm talking to the person to gauge. Like I usually have a list of questions, but then they don't apply the same way. So okay, I think that's it for the questions then.
Okay.
Last question: will you be back?
Of course.
Okay.
You just let me know when and let me
Mhm.
know the topic and I'll be back for sure.
All right. Maybe next time we'll start off with Mike on the top of the podcast, so we just get the basketball out the way, then we dig into the boys.
Cool. That sounds good to me.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on.
I appreciate you inviting me.
Oh no, it had to happen because like we've had crossover interests for years, and I needed to get my act together as far as knowing how I'm gonna put out content because it wasn't easy as it is now because AI makes this all easy. Like I don't have to edit this. The AI is going to chop out all the see how I feel it right there. It
Yeah.
takes out all the pauses and all that.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's super amazing. So it's like easier now. I can just focus on the talking.
Cool. Cool.
But all right, yeah, I'll hit you up. Thank you for coming
All right,
on.
cool. Thank you. I appreciate you having me, man.
All right, so this is the Avatar Slang Podcast. I usually don't close, and I realize I have to close now. So yeah, you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok. What else is there these days? There's too much apps, right?
Yeah, Instagram, what TikTok, X, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, I'm done with Twitter to be honest.
Oh, I mean, most people are. It's terrible now. So
My thing with Twitter is I'm about to be like the mom when they say we're about to leave and you don't leave. I gotta get this out. What like I get on Twitter and I see nothing that's for me. Like I try to fix the algorithm. Like I try to like things that apply to me. It's
Right.
still showing me baby mom and baby dad's arguing and world star hip hop, and it's like, you know what, I'm good.
I mean, that's really all it is.
Yeah, so I'm out. So, but yeah, you can follow me on Instagram, look me up on YouTube, TikTok, even Facebook. Just type in Avatar Slang, I'll pop up. You going to plug anything in, or you good?
No, I'm good.
I figured you was, but I didn't want to be rude.
That's all good.
All right,
Thank
we
you,
are
man.
out.